Mind over matter. Mind over matter is often explained as overcoming adversity to accomplish something. But is that where it remains? Is it only for an athlete with one leg or a former football player walking again after a head injury? What if I told you there was a way to use it without training for a marathon while weighing 400 pounds? Stay with me, this is gonna get weird. For me, it all started working in a restaurant as a line cook. I could still hear the ticket printer in my nightmares. One after another, medium rare strip, burger well, fire table 10 entrees, over and over until I was only recognizing the consonants. You make one mistake and the night is over. You will never recover. It's called getting weeded or being in the weeds. So as a good line cook, you simply practice until you don't make those mistakes. If you cut yourself, you fix it as quickly as possible and you get back to your station. If you burn yourself, you cover it up until the rush is over and you just deal with it. In the world of the kitchen, this is simply the way it is. Your mommy doesn't work with you. Sink or freaking swim. Every order is on autopilot. Every motion you make a calculation to minimize movement. It's the most beautiful freaking ballet with no audience or applause. In other words, it is the place to go to hone your mind over matter skills. If you aren't able to, the chef will just put you on prep or maybe a Tuesday night fry station shift. One night it hit me. I had just completed a 5-hour dinner rush and I couldn't remember a single order. How did I get here? Sitting on my milk crate throne in a dark alley drenched in sweat? The ticket printer replaced with the sounds of the city at night? Was this time travel? Did I skip past the rush? Am I dead? Oh no, it was far weirder. In my prior preparation prevents poor performance self-thought, I figured out the secret to never working a day in my life. It's a cross between time travel and astral projection. It's harnessing the power of imagination that I mastered in my youth. This technique doesn't work without the 5 Ps I mentioned prior. It doesn't work if you suck at your job, and it surely doesn't work if your imagination is set in the future and not the present. Fix these before you begin. There are jobs that this might not work for, but it will work for anything that doesn't require a lot of thought power. If you're going to tell me that you are a line cook that needs to think quickly, I'm gonna stop you right there. Turn off the video. Okay, now that they're gone, I can tell you they were terrible line cooks. So let's take the line cook example and run with it. You portioned all your protein, your mise en place is set up for a worst case scenario, you have backups below, your side towels are all folded neatly. Breathe and think about the place that you would rather be right now. I'm sure this place is anywhere but here. Think of the way it looks and smells. Imagine the way the air feels in your lungs. Trade the sound of the dishwasher's new solo rap album for the sounds of the birds in your paradise. As the ticket printer begins its symphony of destruction, shift that part of your hearing back and focus on the sounds of your splashing footsteps as you wade through the tropical river. Anytime your imagination loses focus, try to gain it back. Focus on your breath as if you were meditating. I know this seems too simple. Trust me, it took lots of practice to step out of my daily grind. It can be done. Let me outline some basic steps to try. Number 1, don't just be good at your job, be the best at your job. If you work in manufacturing, be faster than everyone else. Assemble your widgets perfectly every time. Get so proficient that you can't make a mistake. If you do make a mistake, you're not ready to move on to step 2. Basically, just be the most efficient at anything you are doing. Number 2, prior preparation prevents poor performance. Just because you aren't a line cook doesn't mean you don't have mise en place. Every job I have ever had some form of mise. This could be the exact amount of screws you need for each widget, or all your programs open on your computer. This is incredibly important for the next step. If you don't think you have mise, turn off the video now. Well, I guess I'm really focusing my audience now. You are the one I really meant this for. You are the true star. Thank you. Number 3, keep track of every movement. Not just where your body is, but where your mind is. What are you thinking as you test your widget or pull that steak off the broiler? What happens next after this? Where do your eyes go next? What do you see? Even if the next step is pivoting your ankle, focus on this. You can surely write it down if you have a bad memory, but with enough practice and being good at your job, you will remember these in your muscles rather than in your brain. Number 4, commit everything to muscle memory. Every step, every breath, every blink of your eyes. You are no longer in control of these. They just happen one after another like dominoes falling into place. This is a path that begins with one widget or one steak and moves forward. It keeps growing and you keep slipping deeper out of your own way. Start slow. Start with one movement and let it grow. If you believe that you can do all this at once, you are either delusional or far better than me. Number 5, go back to step 3. Make sure every movement is calculated. Make sure that there are no wasted movements. Make sure that there is nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing that you didn't expect. If there is something out of the ordinary, don't allow it to work into your plan. This is not something that happens every time. It happened once. It's gone. It's not part of your memory. These little events can easily distract you. But be the Bourdain that you can be. You burned yourself, cover it up, and get the job done. Number 6, build a widget without thinking. You are ready now. You have prepared and calculated every movement. You have practiced over and over. There is nothing unexpected. There is nothing standing in your way. Build that widget, cook that steak, or whatever it is that you do, just do it without thought. You can do this. You can create your own vision and surroundings. I don't care for the word manifest, but this is precisely what you are doing. You are flying your body on autopilot, so your mind is free to wander to wherever it wants to go. Traveling to Fiji sure seems a lot better than sweating through another shift at whatever job you have. I would rather be eating a shrimp cocktail on a beach barefoot than framing a house in -10 degrees wearing boots. If you made it through this video, then you believe this is possible. If you believe this is possible, then you believe me when I say that it's all true. Through practice and imagination that remains from my childhood, I was able to shift into a new realm. I really wish I had the ability to articulate what this has done for me. After the first few weeks at a new job, I didn't work. I flew my body on autopilot while I was sipping Mai Tais with Bourdain in paradise. I told you it was going to get weird. Thank you, and if I earned it, please consider subscribing. On another note, just to keep the Memento Mori train going, I just found out that one of my uncles died today. He went to bed last night and he didn't wake up. So, Darnell, gonna miss you, buddy. Love you. Goodbye.